that is wasted. And
Yes.
I just believe that where the Democrat Party is today, I've got a hunch that there's enough liberals in power in Kansas City, Missouri, that they would see this as the biggest gain they've ever had. We get the money and decide what to do with it instead of the county. I don't think they're talking about taking all the funding away. I think they're saying you keep whatever the county tax is today, whatever those county taxes, all the Kansas City, Missouri residents, that would go to Kansas City, Missouri, not Jackson County. It would just be an equitable divorce. Well, I think Kansas City, Missouri is just ballsy enough to think, hey, this will be great for us. Let's do it.
Well, all you have to do is look at St. Louis because they're desperate to get back in with St. Louis County. And as far as that pipe bomber goes, everyone who's interested in what went down on January 6th, keep a close eye on how that thing unravels.
Yeah. I'm not going to make any predictions because I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait. This is one that I'm excited about. Not excited. I'm interested in at a very high level. I want to know what this person was up to.
Yes.
Yeah. Good call, Wes. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Okay.
you. And it does look like, we don't know yet. It's just a man they picked up in Virginia. His name's Brian Cole. That's all we know. But it sounds to me like this didn't happen. It sounds like they didn't pick him up very far away. Virginia's a big state, but when they say they picked somebody up in Virginia, we kind of think Washington, D.C. area. It's where all the population is, right? So is he a swamp creature? Does he work for the government? It's interesting they've picked him up and they're not saying anything yet about him. They've released a name. It's a drip at this point, and not much more information than that. That is a little bit surprising to me. And these are Trump people in charge of this. So it makes me, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions here. It makes me wonder if they're like, we may have a problem on our hands with who this person was. This may have been somebody, really trying to blow up the Democrats or something. Like, we don't know. We don't know where this one's going. Do not jump to any conclusions. But I think a lot of people want to know and find out if what they were thinking originally with conspiracies or whatever could possibly be true. Best thing I saw on television this week was last night on Jesse Waters' show on Fox. The great Stephen Miller was his guest. Stephen Miller's just the best. Stephen Miller, if you think I say things, Stephen Miller says 10 times the stuff I say. And he was on there talking about blowing up these boats and all that stuff. And he was just great. And at the end, there's a little levity. And he says to him, hey, Pete Hegseth said today in an interview, Stephen Miller's wife does a podcast, and Pete Hegseth was the guest. And he said, yeah, I wouldn't let Stephen Miller babysit my kids. And it was funny, and they were joking about it. And they asked Stephen Miller, why wouldn't he let you babysit the kids? He goes, well, this would be a problem. I'd have Pete Hegseth kids for 2 hours, and by the time Pete got home, his kids would be going, Daddy, we need to bomb Minnesota. This is the special advisor to the United States of America. I love the fact that this administration does have humor because I understand when they're joking. I don't think Democrats do. Democrats don't get jokes. They don't understand humor at all. They're too miserable to get out of their mire, their quicksand. But, man, I think some of this humor is funny. Yeah, Hegseth would come home after I babysat his kids, and his kids would say, Daddy, we got to bomb Minnesota. Unbelievable stuff. When we come back, Lee Sterling joins us. We got a lot to talk about. Chiefs-Texans, huge game this week, and live gambling now in Missouri. That's next on KCMO.
From Overland Park to Parkville, it's Kevin Kietzman, Uncanceled, on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Well, if you signed up with FanDuel this week in Missouri as live betting began, you're having some fun. And if I got a guest for you, you've met him before. Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com is our football analyst and resident handicapper. He's a national handicap champion, and his website is ParamountSports.com. And he joins us now to talk about all the games this week and what the heck is going on in Missouri. Hi, Lee. How are you, buddy?
I'm real good. Excited for everyone being able to now go to games or being in their home or driving around being able to wager. So if they do it responsibly, they're going to have a lot of fun. I mean, I go to even hockey games and watch. Sometimes you can have a blowout and you see the entire arena erupt when the opposing team scores an empty net goal at the end of the game to get to an over. So, if you can have fun, I even have a couple friends who have never wagered in their life, and I turn them on to it, and I told them, just make $5 and $10 bets when you go to a game. And all of a sudden, I'm getting texts from them like, in-game wagering is so much fun. I'm having a great time with it, and they're even playing the player props.
Yeah.
These are some of my contemporaries who've never bet a game before.
Yeah, and low amounts, just having a blast with it. Something really interesting happened Monday night here. It was the first day of live sports wagering in Missouri, and at Monday Night Football's kickoff, 250,000 people, they did this through geo-tracking results, 250,000 people in Missouri had their app open, either on their laptop or their phone or whatever, as the game was kicking off. On the first day, they'd only had like 12 hours to sign up. That's over 6% of the population in the state of Missouri was live, actively watching the Monday Night Football game, ready to go. That is just so fun.
Yeah, I love it, and it's about time. It took way, way too long, but now they're going to be saying when they're, raking in all this money for the state and also people having a great time with it, they made a mistake, huge mistake, waiting so long.
Yeah, I don't know what the average is that a person would well, obviously these companies wouldn't make money unless the average bettor loses money in a year, let's say. But if it was, I'll use a round number, if it's $1,000 a year that the average person loses, okay? And I don't know that that's the number. I'm just tossing that out there. Just at that moment, with 250,000 people online already on these apps, that'd be $250 million profit for these companies. That's crazy.
So I did ask someone. It's funny that you brought that up. So I asked someone who runs an offshore sports book what the average amount is someone loses. Now, it could vary. It could be less, a little less, or a little more. But he said it was $768
per year.
That's the average. Per year someone loses.
Okay, so my guess wasn't that far off. Lee, I know so
many.
many.
The average bet? How about this? What do you think the average bet is?
Not very much. Most people are betting $5 to $10. Yeah, I was going to say there's so
$13.
There's so many people that play $5 and $10 bets and just love them.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what Mark does all the time. But he does the crazy 13-team parlays. He just gives away Abraham Lincolns. He just gives them away.
Right.
So, but
he's that cab driver. He's the cab driver that walks into Vegas. If he was born earlier, he was born 34 years early, he's that cab driver every single week on Friday. As soon as he gets his paycheck, betting that $5 and $10, 10, 12, 13 teamer.
That's awesome, man. So fun. You never know when you're going to hit one of those big ones. And he's driving.
Right.
Our radio station's 5 miles from Missouri?
Yep.
Oh, right down 435. What are you doing when the show's over today, Mark? Tell Lee what you're doing.
So I can go over to Missouri today and bet $50 to win 50 if there's 1 point scored in the game tonight.
It's a FanDuel promo for new wagers. If you're going to sign up in Missouri, it's open today. If you go bet $50, you can't lose unless it's a 0-0 overtime tie. That's the only way you can lose.
Oh. That's called a no sweat bet.
That's the no sweat bet
there.
That's exactly what he's doing. And he's going to do that right after the show today and go get – it's just like picking up $50 in the street. So there he goes to go get it from FanDuel. That's pretty good stuff. All right, before we get to the lines on these games and we talk about these spreads, the conference championships games are this weekend, Lee. And every single year I feel like in college the conference championship games mean less. Now, for most schools, winning a conference title is a big deal. Texas Tech and BYU this week, that's a big deal. To win this game and win the conference title in the Big 12 is a big deal. But when Georgia and Alabama are playing again, I don't think they're showing off their trophy cases all that much with their conference title or championship games. No. Are these things dwindling a little bit, and will they become obsolete because of the playoff?
Well, it's dwindling a lot. And let's put a scenario out there. Let's say nothing changes. I think you have to get rewarded a little bit and also penalized a little bit if things go either very well for you or, in Alabama's case, might go poorly. So let's say that Georgia wins big in this game on Saturday. And if they win big in this game, then, maybe they should be penalized. So if they lose by double digits, why should they, I think what happened, and if you watched the selection show and then after the interview by Hunter Yurachek, it was disgraceful. What he said, that they were impressed by what Alabama did in the game against Auburn, how great they looked in the first half, building a 17-0 lead, and then the fourth down call to get the touchdown. Well, let's be honest. They were facing a 5-7 team. They were facing a team that quarterback was starting only second game in college football and without a head coach, and they barely won. And that committee, the SEC that is tied to ESPN, moved them up one spot. And why did they do it? To protect Alabama in case they lose bad. So Miami beat the brakes off of a Pittsburgh team so bad, 38-7. I don't even know if they're going to have spring football at Pitt this year. It was that bad. So Miami should have moved up one if anyone moved up. Instead, they stayed the same. Alabama moved up one spot just to protect them. If they lose that game, I'm all for them being out.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. Has the committee pretty much decided where to place now, where if you lose one of these extra games, because for everybody listening, this is an extra game, these conference title games,
right?
Is the committee pretty much have a stance that if you lose one of these extra games, it's not going to hurt you unless it's some sort of an embarrassing thing?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
These games, except for the North Texas game against Tulane, whoever wins that's in, and the Tulane game against the Duke game that they're playing on against Virginia. If Virginia wins, they're in, and then you would see if they loses James Madison. And I mean, who wants to see James Madison or Tulane or North
courts,
Texas?
The legal system.
Yeah, right.
They don't want a lawsuit. They just don't want a lawsuit.
Right.
So that's why we do it.
Right.
All right, we'll take our FanDuel odds here. Let's see what Lee Sterling says. ParamountSports.com is his website. He's got all the lines up. He's got free plays on there, or you can sign up to get all his picks this weekend as well if you'd like. Let's start with that Big 12 title game. Texas Tech, according to FanDuel, 12.5-point favorite over BYU. Is that too many?
I think it is. Now, I watched the first game, and I turned to a friend of mine. I'm like, this game should be 40-0. They dominated. The final score was 29-7. They look great, Texas Tech, especially on defense. They're a top 10 in almost every major statistical category. But it was just not BYU's day. It just happens sometimes. You come out there, the other team's playing great, and whatever you do, it's not your day, so you move on. BYU has still won 11 games. So now it's a rematch game, and I know Texas Tech will be excited to play, obviously, to win their first conference title since I was probably born, but BYU is going to make some adjustments here. They're still a very good team, and their head coach, Kalani Sitake's coming back. If he was leaving, might be a different story, but these kids are going to want to, jump out of a cannon to play for him and maybe win a conference title and to get into the college football playoff. Give me 12.5 points. Tech wins 30-24, but BYU covers.
All right, let's move on to the pros here. And the Broncos are a big favorite over the Raiders. I feel like the Raiders are circling the drain and going to be no help to the Chiefs in any way, knocking off any of these other teams. And the Broncos are well on their way to winning this division. The question here, I don't think is who wins, is 7.5 too much?
That first game was unwatchable.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Maybe the worst Thursday night game we've seen ever. So do I think we're going to see a game like that? No. Why? I think that the Raiders have even gotten worse on offense. They have no offensive coordinator. Obviously, they fired Kelly. He's gone, and that offensive line is embarrassing. The receivers can't get any separation at all. And I think Denver kind of found themselves in the second half and overtime, the game last week. I wouldn't say they used hurry up, but they came and got to the line at a quicker pace. And I think they know if they can do that, more possessions is going to mean an easier win here against the Raiders. Raiders just playing out the season. There's a couple teams that are bad that are still playing hard, but I think the Raiders have packed it in. Give me the Broncos. Raiders aren't going to help out the Chiefs at all here. I think Broncos win this game here 27-10.
All right, the Chiefs continue to be favorites, and they continue to lose football games. This time they're a 3.5-point favorite against the Houston Texans. The loser's in real trouble. I think the winner has a real shot to make the postseason, but the loser here is in real trouble. Chiefs minus 3.5. What say you?
And this is going to be a hard-fought defensive struggle. Let's be honest. Let's look at both of the offensive line. Kansas City, ton of injuries. And, it's tough to protect a quarterback when you got all those injuries. And then on the other side, Houston's offensive line, I don't think is very good. They're sitting here with a total at 41.5. So I think they're begging you to play the over, thinking, you got C.J. Stroud, you got Patrick Mahomes. All you need is a 23-20 game. Don't fall for the trap. We're going to take a different approach to this game. I'm going to play under. I think the Chiefs probably are the right side, barely. I have them winning the game 20-16, but I mean, the line, I think, is off 3 or 4 points here. I think it's too high, believe it or not. Play the under 41.5 for 42 total points.
Yeah, and it could be one of those games where one big defensive play wins the game for one of these teams. So I'm with you. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. What will people see if they wanted to check out your website?
Well, we have what's called Double Down December, and this is what I'm going to do. We've been on a roll. We've won 9 of the last 11 weeks in college football. In the NFL, we won Thanksgiving Day, Friday big, Saturday I think went 4-1, hit all our big games, and also won on Sunday. So you want to hop on board. Normally $4.97 from tonight all the way through December 31st. You want to get college football championship weekend, first couple rounds, college football playoffs. We'll have all those games. When it slows down, I can usually do even better than the great November that we had because I can study more film on less teams. And then we've got all the bowl games, college football, and the next 4 weeks of the NFL season. We're on a 37-17-1 run in the NFL. Yeah, we're rolling there. So how about this? Double down December, every game, college and football, and in the NFL through December 31st. Use coupon code this is for your show only, save 100, just $397 all the way through the end of the month. One place, ParamountSports.com.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate your time. Let's go get some winners this weekend.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, Lee Sterling. I've known him for over 25 years now. Nice man. Honest guy in a business that at one time was once controversial. It's not very controversial now, but good stuff there. If you've signed up for FanDuel and you're playing in Missouri now and you want a little help, Lee Sterling can maybe help you out on some of these picks in the early going. Check him out anytime at ParamountSports.com. Now, I'm ready to give away free stuff. I like that. Who wants to get weirder and bigger this summer? Bigger and weirder. You want to get bigger and weirder? Well, I don't mind the weirder. I don't really want to get bigger. But the Bigger and Weirder Tour is coming to Morton Amphitheater June 19th in Kansas City. It's Weird Al Yankovic. Right now, 7th caller gets 2 tickets free. 913-408-7957. What a great holiday gift to give to a loved one. If you win them right now, 7th caller's a winner to see Weird Al on KCMO.
Hey, it's Vince Gallane's Catch My News Show at 11 o'clock after Kevin Kietzman on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
All right, let's wrap it up talking with our good friend Mark Van Sickle, Mark Van Parlay, Mark Van Everything. We had a winner there for Weird Al. What do we have?
Oh, yeah, Brian from KC.
Love it. Pretty happy, aren't they? Now, do you think that the wife likes going to Weird Al, or is this a guy thing? What do you think Weird Al is exactly? Because I want to go.
I think it's multi-generational, multi-sex. I think anybody can like Weird Al.
I like that. I saw yesterday a video of that he made of Party in the CIA.
That's nice.
Is that Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA?
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
And she didn't want us using that song, or Trump, or anybody using that song anymore, she said.
Well, nobody ever wants to use their song because they've already made their money on it, and they're like, okay, we're good. All right, let's have some fun here. Oh, our good friend Danny Boatwright is off of 99 to beat. She was knocked out last night. There were 99 contestants. We talked about this a couple months ago when the show debuted on Fox. She finished 8th.
Yeah, we figured she would make it pretty far in the show at least.
She did great. She lost on a teeter-totter kind of thing where you had to balance it and you had to keep the arrow right on the red dot in the middle for 3 seconds, and another lady beat her. It came down to the two of them, and that was the end for Danny. Congratulations, Danny, on another great contestant work there. You did great. How about this one, Mark? How do you feel about going to the bathroom at work? I mean the part where you close the stall, not the part where you stand.
I don't hate it.
35% of the people in America are scared to do it at work.
Really?
According to a new survey. 20% of the people will not do it. They will leave the building and go somewhere else.
Interesting.
They're afraid of certain things that, their coworkers, like noise, odor, whatever. I was like, I don't like going to work.
Okay.
So the whole story was about how to be really regular and be able to go before you go to work. I get that.
That's not too bad.
I'm lucky to be regular. I go before work, so it's never really an issue here unless I'm sick. So I don't know why I bring that up, but I've always wondered if I'm the only person that doesn't really want to go at work.
I know some people on the second floor below us don't like going at their work, so they come up to our work.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. We used to find at the old radio station, Sports Radio 1510, before it was 810, we had a certain employee that worked very early in the morning every day and did it, and it was pretty much ruined for everyone the rest of the day. So there was no even attempt to go in. There was only one stall. It's like, nope, you're not going in there. That's not happening. If you have Spotify and you listen to music or podcasts, you get your results. And everybody got them yesterday on their listening habits for 2025. Mark, what did yours tell you?
We listened to a lot of Forrest Frank in the car this year.
Okay.
Number one artist. All my top 5 songs were Forrest Frank. He's a Christian hip-hop rap artist.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So you listen as a family in the car and the whole thing. Okay. And you don't know how many minutes you listened?
I did. I need to look that up really quick, though.
All right, so mine's ridiculous. Mine was 30,000 minutes of music. My podcast listening is not very high. I check my own podcast, but I don't listen to a lot of podcasts on Spotify. Usually I'm the guy that plays music at the pool and the guy who plays music at the golf course. And I take requests. People name artists, and I play them. So it tells you, based on the music you played for a whole year, they try to guess your age. And this is where it's really shocking. Mark, what did they think your age is?
They actually got me spot on. They thought I was 40.
Okay.
And I am 40.
Well, they thought I was 33.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's pretty sweet.
Now, again, people in the group requesting artists, and I'll play their artist. So we've got a friend of ours that likes to play Pink or some other younger, sometimes artists I don't even know, or newer, Taylor Swift, whatever. Yeah. So things happen on my playlist that I wouldn't necessarily play, but I'm doing it for other people. So I think it reflected me younger than I actually am. My number one artist was Eric Church this year. The number one song I played was his new song, Hands of Time.
It's a good one.
I don't know why, but I also think there's a code in there. Once you start playing stuff and then you go on shuffle, it plays the stuff it knows you play most.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's sort of a monster that feeds itself. Mm-hmm. I do believe that happens.
They've got the algorithm down.
We learned this week what tickled your tonsils means from Andy Reid. Did you know that we know what this is now?
Shove it down your throat?
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the ball and shove it down their throat. Mm-hmm. Not just an acronym for running the ball necessarily. Everything you do, we're gonna just shove the football right down their throat. Jason Kelsey busted that out on the Kelsey podcast. Travis said he'd never heard Andy say it before. Mm-hmm. But apparently Jason had heard it from other coaches or other players before, and it's a saying in football that we're just gonna go at you and shove the ball right down your throat. You buying that?
Yeah, I'm buying that. I think that was kind of what I thought he meant, but I didn't know. So it was fun to play around with that all week.
No, it definitely was. And they had a great time on there, notwithstanding the fact that they had George Clooney on. But that's okay. Jason knew, Travis didn't, and Andy never. But Travis said, to his credit, Andy has so many phrases, I can't keep track of them all.
He loves them.
And he doesn't repeat them. He's just got new ones all the time. So we're hoping the Chiefs are going to tickle those tonsils. There's going to be signs. There's going to be signs at Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah. Sunday Night Football, come on.
Sunday Night Football. Tickle those tonsils. That's just unbelievable. Okay, and finally, we have the FanDuel play this week, and it's tonight. The Cowboys play the Lions tonight. This is a great Thursday night game. You're telling me in Missouri, if I sign up for FanDuel and deposit $5, okay, and open an account, I get a $50 free bet tonight. If any point by either team is scored in the game, I win $50.
Yes, and if you have an account, even in Kansas, if you want to drive over to the state line, if you're a new bettor in Missouri and you just started this week, it's anybody who has a FanDuel account can do this.
So if you had a FanDuel account, you live in Arizona, and you're a trucker and you're driving through Missouri, you can get it today.
Exactly right.
That's fantastic.
Just got to opt in.
You can't wait. Is it the best part of your day?
I love it. Yeah, I'm going to go over there and get it and then come back to work and finish my work.
Go get it, man. The no-brainer bet is on. And I think that's going to do it for Uncanceled today here on Case. Are we right at the top?
You're right. Yeah,
Are we close? That's okay. The music
I was
wasn't
too busy
playing.
talking to you.
That's okay. The Vince Show's coming up next.